talk a lot of junk, yeah, you vibing with us now. Build something from the ground up, yeah, we like to clown. Talk about some real stuff, yeah, something profound. It's a pleasure that you're hearing us, wouldn't mess around. It's a topic of discussion worth talking, that we bust and put a nail in the coffin. If you love it, then you love it. If you don't mean nothing, still bring it to the public. Y'all, don't feed the animals, put them in a cage, they couldn't handle truth. We gonna bust out the gate like some cannibals. Same face, same channel, messing with the tune. A bunch of idiots stuck in one room, can't take us serious. You love what we feeding you, I'm with the show, yeah, proceed with the interview. Local celebrities, snatch toy from your cereal. Don't feed the animals.
So, what is happening, everybody? Welcome to another fantastic episode of Don't Feed the Animals podcast. And I'm your host, James. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I hope everybody's fine. Everybody's doing well. Everybody has a nice day upon them. I am here with you with a awesome sound box that I found from the store the other day. I have a real sound device, but that is me being lazy, and not being lazy, being not as technologically savvy to set it up, because it's very like high-end soundboard. So once I set that up, I won't have to resort to the cheap laughs of, like, of this stuff, or even, but you'll probably hear every button, so I could get the most out of this cute little sound box. So again, if you are hearing this, this is being recorded live on Instagram. Why? Because why not? And yeah, it's another solo podcast, baby, with yours truly, James. So I hope everybody's having a great morning, evening, night, afternoon, whatever. No, I wish, man. So Isaac from Sippin' and Grillin' joined in, and he made the best reference ever. And he was wondering if my soundboard, I know, he's my soundboard says, a line from this awesome movie you may have heard of, Home Alone Part 2, where he had oh shit, my mind is totally leaving me. Oh god, it was like a talk boy. He had a talk boy, which I feel like only popularity was because of Home Alone 2, and all a talk boy was a video recorder, which they made a very important plot device in the movie Home Alone Part 2. It saved him more than once. So he would take the little talk boy, record little situations, and play it back for the dumb adults that get tricked into everything. I think Home Alone's awesome. It's funny Isaac mentions it, because I remember when Isaac and I worked together back in the day, and Isaac made the most obscure Home Alone reference. And I'm like, I know exactly what you're talking about. So the obscure reference, and tell me if you remember this, Isaac, through the comments. Do you know what quote? It was from Home Alone Part 1. I'll give you that much of a hint. Do you know what quote, or at least what scene, you made an obscure Home Alone reference to? And I don't know what we were talking about. I don't know if we were taking inventory, but you said some line, and I was like, Home Alone 1. Yeah, I remember. And you were like, what? You know that? Is there any chance, anything on the top of your head that you actually remember what that could have been? Because I'll tell you, because I remember it. But I want to know if you remember. What obscure Home Alone reference did you make that I knew? I felt like it was impressive because I was like, yeah, like, how the fuck did I know that? No, that get out of here, you little pervert. That's from Home Alone 2. You were taking inventory and then you were saying something, and there's a stupid scene, and I don't even really remember it correctly, but the dad was on the phone. Okay, so it's Home Alone Part 1. The dad was on the phone in France, and he was trying to talk French to get in contact with their house because they found out that on the plane that Kevin was left home alone. So he's trying to talk to the French people, and he's like, he said something like, "Fallez-vous la." Yeah, exactly. And you said that, and I'm like, this motherfucker just quote Home Alone 1? Exactly. Yes, les incompetents. I say that shit to this day. It's so strange how often I make Home Alone references. And I don't really love that movie that much, but I've had another solo podcast, probably like one of the first solo podcasts I've done, like episode 13, probably 2 years ago, where I exclusively take a shit on Batman or Bruce Wayne, young Bruce Wayne exclusively, and say how much more of a badass Kevin McAllister is than Batman. That's a deep, unpopular opinion, but I stick to it to this day. I still think Kevin McAllister has way more going for him as a hero than young Bruce, soon to be Batman, ever was. I mean, Kevin wished his family away, and he didn't give a fuck. And he had way more family members. And then Bruce Wayne, with all the millions and millions of dollars, his family gets capped, and he cries like a little bitch. And he doesn't get over it. Very unrealistic of a character. I'm just saying. Very unrealistic. I think your butler, I think your trust fund, I think everything else, all that mansion is enough to make me go, I really didn't know my parents for that long. I mean, it's fine. Not go, I'm going to live life. I'm going to go to train as a ninja man and fight crime. Like, that's not reasonable. That doesn't make any sense. Kevin McAllister was like, hey, man, my parents are gone. I'm going to jump on the bed. I'm going to eat popcorn. I'm going to go ahead and, like, grab my BB gun. Yeah, not only, he's the one who made his family disappear. He made his family disappear. He's like, my family's gone. I'm the one in charge of this household. And he holds it down. Young Bruce would have cried. He would have cried the whole time. Young Bruce would have been no match for Harry and Marv. No match. Hands down. Hands down. And for those of you who don't think Harry and Marv are not on the same caliber as a Joker or a Two-Face, you're wrong. You're wrong. They are super powered villains. I don't care what you say. You see all the torture that Kevin put them through, and they still survived it. They are super powered, man. They have the power of getting fucked up and being hilarious at it. And I love them for that. I love Harry and Marv. I think they're really good. Yes, super villains. Harry and Marv are super villains. The fucking sticky bandits. Wait, the wet bandits turned into the sticky bandits. Yes, I'm cutting deep with my Home Alone 1 and 2, baby. Yep. Yes, exactly. They would, the wet bandits would flood that Batcave. They'd go in that Batcave. That Batcave would be nothing but underwater. They would be like, who are we fighting, Aquaman? What's going on? Yeah, that absolutely. They would have stole everything in that Batcave. Hex yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Batman to begin with, but come on. You got Kevin McAllister's going to ruin their day. Like, ruin their day. Like, he was like, no, you're not going to take over my house. Hell no. I got my BB gun, my big brother's BB gun, I'm good. Fucking Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof. Fucking tarantula. That's a great movie, though. That's a great Christmas movie. It really is. It's definitely something that I don't always watch every Christmas, but I should because it's great. But anyway, thank you for stopping by. And people are going to be coming and going throughout this podcast. As you know, I have to shout out my people that are listening to me live. So, with that being said, I will continue on my journey of talking shit. So, for those who don't already know, it is by the time this podcast comes out, it'll be the 5th. It's being recorded on the 4th. We're live on the 4th. We're in September, and I have started something very, very, very. I've been here before. I've been here before, but I did it with a different month. We're in sober in October season, baby. But that I'm not doing. I decided not to do sober in October this year. I think that I have too much going on in October to hold off. And on top of that, to be fair, past couple sober in Octobers, I've cheated a lot. I've cheated like I've done like I'll have a party and then I'll drink, or I usually always cheat on the 31st, and I would try to like balance that off by starting the last day of September so I can have Halloween to myself to be crazy. But this year I say sober in September is fine. So I'm doing sober in September, and it's never just being sober. I am cutting off drinking, smoking, and sweets. So I haven't really had anything exclusively sweet on. So I'm not having any sweets. I'm not smoking the Mary Jane. I am not drinking alcohol for this month. And I am going to be working out often. We have another guest that just popped in that I have to shout out because why not? We have Will. What's happening, Will? Thanks, man, for the shout out, and I appreciate you for the motivation. It's hard. I did lose my shit day one, which is hilarious. Like I yelled at my mother. It was weird. Like I was just like, I can't. And it was like, whoa, who is this guy? Oh, hello, Noya. How are you guys? It's always good to see friends come in and join. So yes, right now I'm just talking about how I'm starting sober in September. I am going to try to work out, and the funny thing is you go, James, why do you do this? Now, I always have people go, why? And I go, usually people are like, oh, to reset my tolerance, just to do something different. For me, it's because always a dumb reason. I'm doing it this year because if anybody who knows me knows I'm a big Ghostbuster fan, and that is very true. I fucking love Ghostbusters with all my heart. Believe it or not, I don't think I've ever had a Ghostbuster podcast where I talk shit about Ghostbusters, but I'm sure that that's going to go over a certain way. So I'm not really doing that. But there's another movie that I adore deeply in my heart that's maybe not so comedically hilarious and lighthearted as Ghostbusters is. But the other movie that I absolutely adore, that on the other side of the room I have a shrine of, is The Crow, starring Brandon Lee. So that movie is very, very meaningful to me. And it's one of those things where you're like, why? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why. It's my favorite. It was one of my favorite movies. It's literally one. And just to bring it all back, it actually has one of the Ghostbusters in that movie. Ernie Hudson played he was detective. He was a lieutenant, but then he was Officer Albrecht in that movie. And he's the one who confronts Eric Draven and basically sides with him to help him take care of all the bad guys that did him wrong that night, that they murdered his fiance and his and him on their day before their wedding. That movie is great. I love that movie, and I want to. I've been a Ghostbuster many times, but I've also been the Crow on Halloween many times in my youth, and I never was a perfect, most satisfied with my renditions of the Crow. The first year I was like a teenager, and I just basically put clown makeup on, and I just kind of moved on. The second time let me think. The second time I got a little bit better outfit, but the makeup was meh. And then another time I did that, it was the closest because I even got leather pants. I had leather pants. I was in decent shape, but I never had these long locks like you see before you. So now I'm like, well, now that my hair's long, let me do it. But here's one problem. There's a whole lot more of James to go around that it's not really going to work. Considering the fact that if anybody's ever seen The Crow is not a heavy, husky guy. He is rail thin. I believe I remember in the movie that Brandon Lee, I think, dropped down to like 140 or something ridiculous. Is what he was at. And he was like, the Crow was like so thin. So once he lost all that weight, because he went out of his way to do that because he was trying to mimic the comic as close as possible. So after he did that, he just looked super rail thin. Now I'm never gonna get to 140 in 2 months. That's ridiculous. But I'm gonna try my hardest to get down to at least 200. I started at 245. It's been 4 days, and I'm in the 236 to 235 range. So I almost lost 10 pounds, but that makes sense because I usually am really good at cutting weight really quickly. But then it's like the long run that really makes me struggle. The constant temptations of food and drink and all that. So, but I'm gonna stay strong. This is a long month. I believe we have 31 days of September, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to take advantage of that 31 days. I go for my runs. I get to eat light, and that's pretty much it. So that is why I'm doing it. I am losing weight so I can dress up as the Crow, which you guys will all see. I will make sure I post on social media my end results of that. If not, there's always a Ghostbuster, right? Haha. But we'll see. So yeah. What else is happening? Yes. So we are on the line of basically trying to figure out how to keep this podcast going live on a regular basis where I actually have guests. So I don't know how, but I am in the process of trying to figure out the logistics of going live with the guest. Maybe possibly having everybody set up their phones like I have now and on tripods, and then kind of keep it on Instagram, I guess, because it's fun to be live like this. But who knows? I don't know if echo will be a problem. I don't know if any of that, but I feel like if we mute our mics and, because having an audience is is like another level of fun when you're live, I guess, what I've noticed. A good majority of the people that have been joining me have been people from past guests, and I feel like you guys are like all like a community for me, and I really appreciate all the support that you guys do, and it's fun. It's real fun. So once I figure that out, we will be good to go. Let me think. So I had a weird dream the other night. Actually not the other night. I took a nap when I got home, and I had a dream that I was in a theme park that consisted of everything was made out of jelly. And not an edible jelly, like jelly, like, you know those like a mouse pad with the little like armrests. It was kind of like that, and it was like everything, like creatures were walking. I don't know. I just find it, all I'm getting at is I find it weird that I'm having more fucked up dreams sober than I do when I like take a really big bong rip and maybe a shot and then go to sleep. How come my dreams are way weird? I don't know. I don't know why that's the thing. I don't know if that's normal. I don't know if that's something to worry about. But please, if anybody can help me explain why my dreams are more fucked up when I'm sober, get back to me, because I have no idea, and it was weird. It was weird. I also had a dream I was at Chris Rock's house for some reason, and he didn't like me because I was white. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just like, what am I doing? Just go to bed. Just dream about like normal things, like Tetris or something, or I don't know. Go be in a Ghostbuster. Have fun. Anyways, so alrighty. Trying to think. Let me tell you, this is probably the fourth time I've done a solo podcast, and they are not easy, especially when you don't prep. And I have a problem not prepping. But I just remembered. Last time I did a solo podcast, I said I was going to go to Steve-O's comedy show. I called it a fucking body bag tour. It's his bucket list tour. And I have to say, if he is in your town or area, it's a must-see. It's a must-see. I'm not ruining it. I'm not going to say any of the bits. I mean, if I knew you in person, I probably told it. But on this platform, I'm not going to say it. But he has shown wild shit on there. His format is phenomenal. He goes up on stage. And it's so great because that guy has been through so much shit that when he goes up and just tells, like, that's all he has to do is just give us like it's like almost like an insider director's commentary of like what he's about to show, of this like silly ass bit, like, like the shit that they would do on Jackass, but on another level. X-rated Jackass, if I will, because it's definitely not a family friendly show at all. He's crazy, the shit that he does. It's literally like there's no filter on the thought process of him getting an idea, and then normally you get an idea that strikes you into your head, and then in his mind it gets shaken up, and it's like, and normal people go, oh, this is why we can't do that. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. He'd go, how do I make A, B, C, D, E, F, G not be a thing, and I just do the thing I wanted to do? And he does it. He figures out all the logistics to the best of his abilities, and he pulls through. Steve-O, dare I say, is extremely inspirational as a human being. Granted, it's usually about a lot of dick and fart and shit, but it doesn't matter. To each his own, yo. To each his own. He is the epitome of The Secret. He materializes anything and everything that he comes up and puts his mind to. And that, my friends, is awesome. So, yes, if he's still touring, if you are have an opportunity to go see his current show, please do. By the way, if you've seen on this my Instagram, he is so freaking friendly. He has he took a selfie with everybody. Like we didn't have VIP badges, and he was super nice, and he took a selfie with me, and he was just a super cool dude. Like, he didn't really have to meet everybody who was willing to wait for him, but he did, and he did it very efficiently, and he was personable with all the people, and he has awesome merch. He has a hot sauce I've tried, which is phenomenal. Steve-O's hot sauce for your butthole. That was really good. So, what else has been going on with me? Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to talk about some movies. And I want to see, obviously, the new Ghostbusters. There is no doubt in my mind that the new Ghostbusters is going to be phenomenal. There's been a lot of things because merchandise and because it's a movie that was supposed to be coming out in June of 2020, I believe, or July of 2020, and now we're in, damn near we're going on November 19th, I believe, is the new release date of 2021. And so there's a lot of things that obviously leak out and stuff like that, and I try to avoid it at all costs, but it's safe to say that it's going to be fun seeing the old members in the of the Ghostbusters in this new movie. But I can already tell they've already had a screening at a Sony event, and it's got positive reviews, and I am super excited. And the day that I see it, I'll either do like a non-recorded but just live podcast, maybe more of just like a candid, like I just finished seeing the movie, how I feel about it, maybe spoilery, maybe not spoilery. So I'll figure it out. But I know that when that movie comes out, my nipples will be very, very, very hard, and it'll be great. So, what else? So then Ghostbusters, and then is there any other movie that I'm really, really excited for? It's Halloween. Season coming in. I also may want to talk about some horror movies in the next month coming. I think that maybe I'll take a poll of movies that from you guys to suggest for me to watch, because I would always attempt, like maybe 4 years ago, I went hard and I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to watch a horror movie every day in the month of October. That's very ambitious of me. Instead, what I might do, or what I have done, because it never really pans out, I do really good for like 7 days, and then after that I can't. Not that I stop, I just can't do it every single day. It's a little much. So after I do that, I then go to watching a series. Is probably what I did last year, where I watched a movie franchise series, and I give myself a week to watch the franchise series. So I can watch 2 movies in a row. I can watch, so I don't like limit myself to anything. I just try to complete the series as I go. And last year, I think it was like Halloween, or I'm pretty sure on one of the podcasts I talk about it, for all I know or remember. I don't know. But this year, I would like to watch what you guys consider your favorite horror movies. Just put a comment on this episode or any future episodes, or I'll probably take a poll on when we get closer to Halloween in Instagram. And then we'll talk about what would be fun and be spooky to watch. I would love to watch it, because that's going to be where it's at. Another thing that I would like to do is I would also like to talk about how I unfortunately am not going to Horror Nights this year. I know Horror Nights is something that I always look forward to, but you know what? This year might not just be the year. It's just too much going on. We're still in pandemic mode. Like, unfortunately, we're on 3rd wave of bullshit. People are getting sick, money, finances are really not where it's at the moment. But yeah, I mean, we will see if, next year I can definitely be into it. And I was excited about this year because of Beetlejuice, because it was the ghost with the most, man. Ghost with the most. And I would have loved to see a Beetlejuice house. I know that there would have been sandworms. I know I'm going to be jealously watching a YouTube walkthrough of those haunted houses, wishing I was there. Because it's just such a goddamn good time when you love spooky stuff. And I love spooky stuff. What else have been going on? See, you know what I should be doing? I should have like a news feed up. So at least I can interact with the news feed to see what's been going down and on. But I did not prep for nothing. This is probably going to be A, the shortest episode I do. B, the maybe not so fruitful episode, but who cares? But it'll only make me want to do better. I've been really focused on my body recently. So I've been focusing on taking care of my health or well-being. Because again, I'm trying to lose weight. So we'll see if I get to my goal. And I will definitely take pictures and show off what's what, everybody. There might... See, I'm going to tease something. Because if I do another episode, I would like to do it with Daffy. And me and Daffy will do an episode, and we will talk about, we were going to talk about what might be coming up, because if I get to go, that will be a fantastic episode, because there is an event showing up that I might attend, that I don't want to say just yet, but it's September 17th. 18th and 19th. There's a certain convention happening in Miami that if I get to go, that I've never been before, I'm going to have a lot to say, I assure you, when I come back from it. So we'll see what happens. What else is going on with me? I could just do this all day. Like, this is fun, right? No. I think that I'm going to keep this short. I'm going to keep it sweet. I'm going to keep this more of like an update. There's more guests to come, more podcast talking, friendship, bullshit, loving, everything. We're shooting the shit. We're doing a thing. You know me, man. This is just people being people having fun. For all the people that jumped on and said, hey, how's it going? It's been really a pleasure. Another reason why I am ending it soon or shortly is because my battery is going to die on my phone, because I really wasn't even planning on doing this. I went on my run and I said, hey, you should do a podcast today because you won't have one this week. And then I was like, I don't think I'll do it. But then I said, what would you do? What would you be if you just didn't do the thing that you set out to do? And then I'll skip another week, and then I'll skip another week, and then another, and another, and then this won't become anything, and you guys won't have a good time, and I won't be able to express myself and enjoy this therapy that I have with you. But I'm glad you showed up, everybody. I'm glad you came by and we had a little good laughs, conversation. Hope to see y'all in the near future. You're all stay safe. Follow them signs. They're all around. Pay attention. Remember, if there's somebody you're thinking about, you always gotta reach out to them. Give them a hand. Hold them. Touch them. Feel them. Make them feel good. We have friends. We have family. We have everybody out there for your disposal, care for. And yes, I am stalling as I look for my outro music to play, which will be right now. I love you all. Peace. Gotta hold what? Yeah, gotta talk that shit, gotta talk that. Gotta talk that out, gotta go ahead and take a little call.
go ahead, baby, call that shit, baby. Call that motherfucking therapist, baby. If you don't got a therapist, call your mom. If you don't got a mom, call your motherfucking friend. If you don't got a friend, talk to the person under the bridge and they'll tell you about your problem. Gotta go talk to, gotta 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 go ahead, baby, go ahead and talk to, gotta go ahead and baby, gotta talk to, gotta go ahead and get your feelings out, baby, go ahead and talk to, gotta talk to.
Talk to me, baby, girl, I wanna help you. Talk to me, baby, girl, I wanna help you.
Talk to me, baby boy, I wanna help you. Talk to me, baby boy, I wanna help you.
Talk to me,
Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Go ahead and talk down. 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 Go ahead and talk Talk to him, gotta talk to him. Gotta talk to talk, gotta talk to him. If you're not feeling well, baby, gotta talk it out. Gotta get it from the inside to the outside. Gotta externalize that shit. Gotta take it from the bottom of your stomach to the top of the lift and to get that out. Now you feel a little better. Now you do that shit. Gotta exercise, gotta exercise, gotta exercise. Gotta exercise your mind. Gotta exercise your mind. Gotta exercise